Yeah, okay. Good evening, all. Everyone can hear me. Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Okay, guys. So let's start the session. And in the last class, we are discussing about the last topic called as percentile, right? So let's move on to that one. And coming to the concept of percentile, what is meant by percentile means what percentage of students or what percentage of data is below to that value is called as percentile. If this particular any point is 10 percentile means 10% of the data is below to that. If any data point is 25 percentile means 25% of the data is below to that. That is the meaning of percentile, right? So percentile indicates that how much percentage of data is below to that data point. Now 50 percentile, whatever the 50 percentile we are having means 50% of the data is below to this data point. The 50 percentile. So the 0 percentile value means 0% of the data is below to this. 0 percentile means 0% of the data is below to this. 0 percentile is also called as minimum value. And 25 percentile. 25 percentile means with respect to 25% of the data is below to this data point, which is also called as quartile 1. 25 percentile is called as quartile 1, which is represented as Q1. 50 percentile. 50 percentile means 50% of the data is below to this, which is represented by quartile 2, that is Q2, which is also called as median, right? 75 percentile. 75 percentile means in terms of quartile 3, which is represented by Q3. And 100 percentile means 100% of the data is below to this. 100 percentile means maximum value. Okay. For minimum value, we are not going to represent by anything, just minimum value. And this is the maximum value. Whereas quartiles are represented by Q, Q1, Q2, Q3, and maximum value. Q1 indicates 25% of the data. Q2 indicates 50% of the data. Q3 indicates 75% of the data. Now, how to calculate these values? First, how to calculate for a given data set. How to calculate means the process to calculate. Process to calculate percentiles. Process to calculate the percentiles or with respect to the quartiles. Quartile 1, quartile 2. What is the process means? First, you have to make the ordered data. For all these things, ordered data is important because they are indicating the position. All of them indicates the position. Median value indicates the center position. 25 percentile value indicates the 25th position. Like this, every value indicates the position. So first it should be an ordered data. The data should be unordered. Once it is an ordered data, now we are having it after that. First, we are going to identify the median value. As we already know how to calculate the median value. Median means center position. So first you are going to calculate the median value, that is center position value. So the right side part is 50%. The left side part is 50%. Now within this 50% of the data, again divide into, again calculate within that 50%, calculate the center position value. Then automatically it is 25th position value. In this remaining data, you calculate the center position value, which is 75 percentile value. Is that as simple as that? So for a given data, first you calculate the median. Okay. For example, let us take like this. Total 15 data points are there. For these data points, I'm calculating what is the center value. Center value median is, this is the center value. This is the right side, I'm having 50% of the data. Left side, I'm having 50% of the data. Now, whatever the 50% left side of the data is there, within this, again, this is the center position. Whatever the right side part is there, within this is the center position. So within the right side part center position, this value is called as 75 percentile value. This one is called as 25 percentile value, which is Q1. Is that clear? So just you are identifying the first median and within that first 25% of the data. Now, are we going to do calculation manually? For example, here only 15 data points are there. We are doing manually. Are we going to do in the company also manually? Means first we calculate the center position, And after that, within that again, are we going to do anything manually, miss? No. There we are not going to do manually. Directly we are having the formulas. In NumPy, we are having the percentile formula. In the Pandas, we are having the quartile formula. So DF of a particular column, we are going to select that particular single column. You know how to extract a single column, entire rows. So just by writing the column name, just by writing the DF of column name, dot quartile, you are going to calculate the quartile value. 25 percentile, 25 miss, if you want with respect to Q1 miss 25 percentile, Q2 miss 50 percentile, Q3 miss 75 percentile. According to that, we are going to use, right? So don't confuse with the percentage with percentile. Percentage means 31 by out of 50 marks. We have got 31 means 31 by 50, which is equal to 62%. It is fixed. It is fixed. It is irrespective of here, for example, for one more student is there, 44. Here, one more student is there, 12 marks with 12 marks. There is no problem. Still, the percentage is 62 only. Percentage is always fixed. Percentile is dependent on the number of students. Percentile will depend on the number of students in what position you are having. For example, if you say that, sir, in my BTech, I have got 75%. Okay, that is okay. What is percentile? Percentile means in your class, what is your position, right? Percentile and along with the percentile, one more rank. These two indicates the what is the position in the class. Percentile and rank, these two indicates. So some people will use based on the rank. Some people will use based on the percentile. Sir, now what is the difference? For example, I'm the class first ranker, sir. I'm the class first. Okay, I'm the class first and I'm the 100 percentile student. Class first, whoever the class first is there, he's 100 percentile. By default, he's 100 percentile. Whatever the maximum value is there, that is the 100 percentile. He has got 84 out of 100. This is the class highest mark. Highest marks is 84 out of 100. And this particular person is the class highest and he is the first ranker. And he called as 100 percentile student. Now, sir, if I say class first or 100 percentile, now what is the difference? Now, here class first, for example, let us assume in that class only one student is there. Let us assume only one student is there. Class means 100% minimum 20 students should be there, 30 students should be there. It is rule like that, no, right? In the class, only one student is there. He is the first ranker, right? Obviously. Now, if you say that I'm class first ranker, hey, okay, you are class first ranker. Out of one student, out of two students, you are first ranker. Out of three students, you are first ranker. Out of 400 students, you are first ranker. Out of what? So here, out of is there, right? Out of that one will be missing in the ranking. If you say that I'm the class first or I'm the first ranker, the missing part is out of. Out of how many students? That is important. Now, if you say the percentile, automatically indicates with respect to within the class. Within the class, maybe 10 students might be there. You are the 100 percentile student. Might be 100 students might be there. You are 100 percentile student. Percentile indicates irrespective of with respect to the. Now, if I say the in the CAT rank, if I say CAT exam or some kind of CAT exam only, I got with respect to 140 rank. Assume you have got 140 rank out in the CAT exam. Okay, 140 out of what? Out of here, this question is there, right? Out of 3 lakh students, CAT exam is minimum to minimum 3 lakh students will be appearing. So out of 3 lakhs, you are in the 140 means your rank will be in the 99 percentile because you will be in the top 1 percentile. Within the top 1 percentile means your rank will be more than 99 percentile. Your rank will, your score will be 99.69 or 99.7 based on that. Just calculate the whatever the value you are going to get, right? So this value, whatever the value you are having, that is the percentile value, right? Now here, for example, let us take the example like this, same example, whatever I have told you. I'm opening the calculator, 140 out of 3 lakhs. Okay. And you have got this one and I'm multiplying just into 100, which is 0.04. Just 100 minus 0.04 means 100 minus 0.04 0.04 means you are 99.96 percentile student. In that way, the CAT exam result will be there. Okay, in the CAT, in the All India examinations, we are going to get the percentile values, right? How they are calculating the percentile means in this way. Is that clear? Percentile. Now, coming to the next one called as 5-number summary. Entire data distribution, we are going to say based on the 5 numbers. What are those 5 numbers means? First number is called as minimum. Second number is called as first quartile. Third number is called as median. Fourth number is called as core quartile. And fourth one is called as maximum. Using these 5 numbers, we are going to say how the entire data was distributed. The data distribution, we are going to say based on the 5 numbers. Minimum, first Q1, Q2, Q3, and maximum. Now, using, for example, let us take a small data set. This is the data set. For this data set, the median value is 33. Q1 value is 25. Q3 is 36. And the minimum value is 10 and maximum value is 59. Okay, these are the 5 numbers. Now, using these 5 numbers, we are going to create a plot called as box whisker plot. The plot name is called as box whisker plot. Okay, box whisker plot. How we are going to plot this plot means by using the minimum value, Q1 value, Q2 value, Q3 value, and maximum value. Using these 5 numbers, we are going to use. So how we are going to create that box? So here the same example. I have got the minimum value as 10, 25, 33, 36, and 59. From where you got? This is the data. Okay, these are the data points. So using these data points, you have calculated the minimum value. You calculated the first quartile value, second quartile value, third quartile value, along with the maximum value. Okay, what is the first value? 10, 25, 33, 36, and 59. Total 5 values are there. Now these 5 values, whatever the 5 values are there, 10, 25, 33, 36, and 59, I'm just representing them, okay, by using a box plot. Now here, this is a box plot. How we are going to take the box plot? Very simple. First, wherever the 10 is there, first you draw one line. Second, wherever the 25 is there, somewhere 25 will be there, draw one line. Wherever the 33 is there, draw one line. Next, after 33, 36, draw one line. After that, 59, wherever the 59 point is there, draw one line. Using 5 data points, draw one line like this. Now, just to combine the Q1, Q2, and Q3 by using a box. And these two, you just extend with the whiskers. These two are called as whiskers. This is called as whisker, and this is called as whisker, and center it is called as box. So it is called as box whisker plot. Right? Just you are going to take the box plot. So here in this box plot, just can you observe wherever the 10 is there, this is the minimum value. This line says that minimum value. Wherever the 25 is there, this is the Q1 value. Wherever the 33 value is there, this is 33. And this is 36. And this is 59. So using those 5 values, that is using with respect to 10, 25, 33, 36, 59. 10 means minimum value. This is Q1 value. This is Q2 value. This is Q3 value. And this is the maximum value. Using these 5 data points, you are going to create a plot called as box whisker plot. Right? Now, from this box whisker plot, we are going to understand the entire data distribution. Means how the data was distributed. Means from between the Q1 and Q2, the distance is very high, but Q1 and Q3, the distance is very low. So from this, I can say the data is a left skewed distribution. If you draw the histogram, for the same data points, what are the data points are there? If you draw the histogram shows that it is a left skewed. Okay. If you want, you can try. Okay. So just let me open the back. These are the data points, right? For the data points, if I am taking the histogram, that is how many values are there from 0 to 10? 0 data points, nothing is there. From 10 to 20, 3 data points. This is a 3. From 20 to 30, 4 data points. From 30 to 40, so 20 to 30 also 3 only. Okay. From 30 to 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 data points are there. This is 3, and this is 6. And from 40 to 50, and from 50 to 59, now if you take the some like this, now you can see here left side it is having the tail, so it is a left tail distribution. Okay, from this we can conclude it is a left tail distribution. Now without seeing this one, so earlier without drawing the histogram itself, I have told you it is a left skewed. How I have told you that one means based on the box plot also we can tell how the data was distributed. How we can tell that one means first we have to focus on the center box. If the center box is unequal, which side is more distance is there, that side it is skewed. For example, in this case, left side the box is having more, so it is a left skewed. For example, I am having a box like this, then it is a right skewed distribution. Sir, for example, if the boxes are same, if the left side box is more means left skewed, if the right side box is more means right skewed. If the boxes are same, then second priority you have to give for the whiskers. If the boxes are same, then for whiskers you have to see. Then in that case, right side whisker is high, so it is a right skewed distribution. Sir, boxes are same, whiskers are also same, then it is called as normal distribution. If the boxes are same and along with the whiskers also same is, then it is a perfect normal distribution. It is a normal distribution, symmetrical distribution, which is if you draw from the center value, left side and right side, everything will be the same. Right? So here, whatever we are having, if the uneven boxes are there, first priority we have to give for the boxes. If the boxes are same only, then second priority for the whiskers. If the boxes are not same, is don't see the whiskers. One of the most important point. If the boxes are same only, second priority is whiskers. If the boxes are same and whiskers are same, is it is a symmetrical distribution. Now, in the certification, they have given a question like this. If it is a right skewed or left skewed, it is a right skewed. First, we have to see the box. In the box, the right side we are having with respect to more, so right skewed. Though the left side whisker is more also, it is still a right skewed distribution. Same question was given in the certification. Just they'll give the one box plot and option A right skewed, option B left skewed, option C symmetrical distribution, and D none of the above. These are the certification based questions, not interview questions. Right? These are certification based in the statistics. Right? Is that clear? Now, from the box plot, we can identify what is the skewed data, whether it is a skewed data or whether it is a normal data. This is one advantage with the box plot. One more advantage also is there with the box plot. That is the main advantage. This is the secondary. Main advantage of box plot is it will identify the outliers. The box plot main purpose of creating the box plot is to identify the outliers. Now, what is meant by outlier? Question is, what is meant by outlier? Outlier means a data value which is numerically far away or which is numerically distant from the given data set. It is called as an outlier. Means in this class, all the students are aged between 22 to 25. If any person of age of 45 is there, he is an outlier for this class. For this class, he is an outlier. Individually, he is not an outlier. For this class, for this data set, he is an outlier. For example, if you go to the old age home, Generally in the old age home, the aged people will be there. Means more than 60 years or 65 years people will be there. If there is, if you find any one person in the old age home with the age of 22, some person of age of 22 and he has joined in the old age home, obviously that person is an outlier in that case. So we may have the right side outlier, we may have left side also outlier. That is on the data set. Generally, car mileage, okay, mileage of a car. What would be the car mileage generally? If it is LP, you are going with a petrol or a diesel, either petrol or diesel. If it is a BMW car or Audi car or something also, minimum value will be 5 kilometers or 3 kilometers or 2 kilometers or something. Maximum, what would be the maximum value? Generally for a car, some 15, 16, 18, 20, 22. If you go with Maruti 800, that is the basic car, where the engine capacity is of very basic level, and that too without AC, without using the AC, and you are going on a highway at a constant speed. Maximum to maximum, you will get 30. Okay, than that it will not cross. For example, in the data set, you have observed that mileage of a car of 80 is there. Is that possible? Means some error. Either something, a data entry error or instrumentation error or something, some error is there. So that data point is considered as an outlier, and we have to treat the outliers accordingly. Right? So first question is outlier. 100% guarantee interview question. In the interview, without outlier, there is no data science interview only. Because in the real life, we are going to get the outliers. 100% will get the outliers in the real life. And we have to treat the outliers. Right? So outliers means where it is numerically distant from the given data set. This is also applicable only for the continuous variable, not for the discrete variable. Earlier, whatever we have discussed, the percentile, quartile, everything are applicable only for continuous. None of them is applicable for the discrete variable. Discrete means in your mind, you have to get male and female. Whenever I say discrete word, just you get in the mind male and female. For males and females, we can't calculate the Q1. For males and females, we can't calculate the Q2. For males and females, we can't calculate the minimum value. For males and females data, we can't calculate the maximum value. That is not possible. So for the discrete variable, nothing is possible. Only for the continuous variable. Percentile, quartiles, whatever we have discussed earlier, everything are applicable only for the continuous variable. Similarly, this outlier, next concept is called as outlier. This concept of outlier is also applicable only for the continuous data. It is not applicable for the discrete variable. Right? Now, what is outlier means? Which is somewhat far away from the data set. Right? Now, what happens in my, so first, how to identify the outliers? Okay, so from the histogram, you can see here, one data point is like this. One of the data point is like this. Now, remaining all the data points from 5 to 35 are there. One data point is there with respect to from 50 to 55, which is an outlier. This data point is considered as an outlier for this data set. For this data set, it is an outlier. Now, let us take one more example. So for this data set, 9,000 is an outlier. Remaining all of them are 20, 21, 22, 23, like this is there. One is 9,000. What is the relation between those? If you are considering this one as age of a person, means 9,000 age of a person is not possible. Okay. If you consider this one of a mileage of a car also, this is not possible. For any particular variable, these are the other values. Only one value will be 9,000. How it is possible? Okay. So that is an outlier data point, right? So the outliers, you may have left side, you may have right side. Right side means lower side also outliers are possible. Upper side also outliers are possible, right? So for example, this is the data set is there. Lower value, 3 is the outlier. If you take with respect to 900, this is also an outlier. This is called as upper side outlier. This is called as lower side outlier. That is the meaning of that. Two sides outliers possible means upper side means right side also outliers is possible. Left side also outliers are possible. Okay. Now, First, what is the problem with the outliers? If you are having an outliers, what is the problem? Most important interview question. What happens if there is an outlier in your data set? Question is, what happens in the notes? Please write. What happens if there is an outlier in your data set? What happens if there is an outlier in your data set? Or what happens, or what is the problem? Instead of what happens, what is the problem? What is the problem if there are outliers in your data set? What is the problem? Right? What is the problem is, so here, let us see like this. This is the temperature of a particular city, okay, which is in the Canada. This is the particular city. For this city on July 1st. On July 1st of every year, they have calculated the temperatures. On 1st, the temperature is 26 degrees. On July 1st, 2015, it is 26 degrees. 2014, it is 15 degrees. 2013, it is 20.5 degrees. 2012, it is 31 degrees. 2011, it is minus 350 degrees centigrade. Minus 350 is possible. Huh? Any person will live, right? 2010, it is 31 degrees. 2009, 30.5 degrees centigrade. So these are the values of last 7 years data, temperatures, right? Now, using this data, now this is an outlier. Now, if there is an outlier in your data set, what is the problem? Now, what happens means, by including the outlier, if you calculate the mean, what is the mean you are going to get? Minus 28 degrees. Average temperature is minus 28. Means in this particular city, average temperature is minus 28. Now it is in the out of 7 years, when you have got that minus 28. So it is a wrong value, right? It has given a wrong result. In that particular city, it is minus, average is minus 28 degrees. How it is possible? Every year 26 degrees, 15, 20.5, 31, 31, 30.5, something we are having like this. Means 28 degrees, how it is possible? That to minus 28 degrees. Due to one value, the entire mean was affected. Due to one single value, the mean was affected. So now, if I consider this outlier, what happens? Mean will be impacted. Now, mean is impacted means automatically deviation also will be impacted. Deviation is impacted means automatically mean square deviation, that is variance, will be impacted. Automatically standard deviation will be impacted. Range also impacts, because the minimum value here, in this case, minus 350. What is the minimum value of this particular city is minus 350 degrees centigrade is the minimum value. So minimum value affected means automatically range also affects, because range is equal to maximum minus minimum. Now, what is the range of this particular data set? Maximum value is 31. 31 minus of 350, that is 381 degrees is the range. Means in this particular city, the temperature ranges from this one to this one with a range of 381 degrees range is there. So it is going to say like that. So range is impacted, mean is impacted, everything are getting impacted. Means due to outliers, statistical analysis will be impacted. That is the problem with the outliers. Your question answer is, the entire statistical analysis will be affected due to the presence of outlier. What happens if there is an outlier in your data set? Means the entire statistical analysis will be impacted due to outlier. The entire statistical analysis will be impacted due to outlier. Now, so if you are having something like this, so the mean is affected by the presence of outlier. For this data set, let us calculate the mean value with including the outlier and calculate the mean value without outlier. With including the outlier, I have got the minus 28 degrees. Now without outlier means, let me remove this one. After removing the balanced 6 data points, what is the average value? If I calculate the average value, I got the average value as, what is the average value means 25.67. Similarly, median including the outlier. including the outlier, total how many data points are there? 7 data points. For 7 data points, what is the median value? Center value, which is 26. Now, if you don't include the outlier, means if you remove the outlier, total 6 data points are there. For 6 data points, what is the center? Average of these two, which is 26 plus 30.5 divided by 2, 28.25. Okay. And if you go with the mode, most repeated value, 31. If you include outlier also, 31 only. If you don't include outlier also, 31 only. Range, in the outlier, if you are having the outlier, 381. If you remove the outlier, now what is the range? Means just 15 to 31. Means range is 31 minus 15, which is 16 only. So with outlier, if you take, means now you are having 31 minus of minus 350, which is equal to 381. Without outlier, if you include, means maximum value is 30 minus minimum value is this time 15, because this is not there without outlier. So 16 only, range is 16. Now clearly you can observe the median value is too much impacted, along with the range also too much impacted. Which is less impacted? Mode is less impacted. And median also is less impacted, but very less, comparatively very less impacted. But whereas the mean is too much impact. The difference between these two data points is 53. Okay, almost 53 points difference. But when compared to these two data points, the difference is 2 only. 2 points only difference. In this case, almost 300 plus difference is there. So here we can clearly say that based on the outliers, if the outliers are present in my data set, the mean is heavily impacted and range is heavily impacted. Automatically, standard deviation also heavily impacted. Means my entire statistical analysis is impacted due to the outliers. That is the problem with the outliers. Now, okay, outliers impact is there. Now, how to identify the outliers? Here, by seeing itself, we identified this is an outlier. Everyone can identify easily. Sir, which is different value, something very different, right? So you can identify very easily. In this class, if any 50 years old person is sitting or 80 years person is sitting in the front bench, everyone will identify easily, right? Hey, what is this? In the data science, 80 years old people also will come and they'll sit like this. You'll find something different. This is a small data set. For small data set, you can easily identify. For large amount of data set, how to identify for the outliers? Next question is how to identify the outliers. Next question. How to identify the outliers for a given data set? How to identify outliers for a given data set? Question is how to identify outliers for a given data set. Any value less than Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier. Any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier. Any value Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier. Any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier. Now, what is meant by IQR? IQR means enter, I means enter, Q means quartile, R means range, interquartile range. IQR means interquartile range, which is nothing but Q3 minus Q1, which is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. Means nothing but, now please just focus on this. First you draw a box. In the box, this is the Q1, this is Q2, and this is Q3. Now first you have to calculate the distance. This box, entire box distance, this distance is there, right? Whatever this distance is there, this distance into 1.5 you have to do. This distance into 1.5. Now if you are working on the right side, this side, whatever the distance of this one is there, into 1.5. That this is 1 point, for example, let us assume this distance is 3 into 1.5 means 4.5. So any value greater than this Q3 plus 4.5, it is an outlier. This value, whatever the 3, left side 4.5, any value less than this one is an outlier. If this value is distance is 3, then this one is equal to 4.5, 4.5. The whisker length should be 1.5 into IQR. If any value greater than that is considered as an outlier. Okay, left side and right side. Now, so any value less than Q1 minus 1.5 is considered as an outlier. Any value Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier, right? Now, earlier example, whatever I have taken, this is the data set. For this data set, this is the minimum value, Q1 value, Q2 value, Q3 value, and maximum value. Earlier, the previous example, whatever I have taken. Now, for this data set, first I am calculating the IQR. First, I will calculate the IQR. What is IQR? That is Q3 minus Q1, which is 36 minus 25, which is equal to 11. Now, Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR, which is equal to Q1. Q1 is 25 minus 1.5 into 11. 1.5 into 11, which is nothing but 25 minus 16.5. 16.5. 11 into 1.5, what is value? 16.5 only. So 16.5, which is equal to 8.5. This is the value. Similarly, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, which is 36 plus 1.5 into 11, which is nothing but 36 plus 16.5, which is equal to 52.5. Any value greater than 52.5 is an outlier in this data set. Any value less than 85.8.5 is an outlier. Now, in this data set, is there any outlier? Yes, this is an outlier. Now, this will be, we are identifying in this way. Now, how we are going to get miss? See, the same thing. First, you are calculating the IQR. IQR is nothing but 36 minus 25, which is nothing but 11. Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR, that is 25 minus 1.5 into 11, which is nothing but 8.5. Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, that is 36 plus 16.5, which is 52.5. Any value less than 8.5 is considered as an outlier. Any value greater than 52.5 is considered as an outlier. Now, here, this data point, whatever the 59 data point is there, this data point, outlier data point will be represented by one dot like this. And after removing this one, now what is the maximum value? 50. So 50 will be considered as your maximum value. This is the box plot. You are going to get a box plot in this way. If you draw a box plot for this data set, you are going to get a box plot in this way. The output of the box plot will be this one. Now, what is the meaning of this dot means? You are having the right side, one outlier data point is available. Is that clear? In this way, the box plot will identify the outliers. The main advantage of box plot is to identify the outliers. That is the main purpose of creating box plot. So in the interview, they'll ask you, what is the use of box plot? So box plot will identify the outliers, right? How it will identify the outliers means the outlier can be a single value or multiple value, anything. Even 20 data points also can be. 30 data points also can be. Infinite number of data points can be. There cannot be no. Means the outliers can be from 0 to infinite. The outliers can be anything. Any. Outliers can be number of outliers. Number of outliers for a data set. Number of outliers for a data set can be 0 to infinite. Minimum 0 to maximum infinite. Right? There is no rule. Now, box plot. If I get a box plot like this, what is the meaning of this? In this box, in this given data, their outliers are available. Don't say that, sir, right side 4 outliers are there, left side 2 outliers are there. Don't say that one, because for example, this value is 59 and this value is 62 means you can find the distance. For example, second value is 59.2 only. Then the second data point also will be attached closely, right? Then how we can identify that how many data points are there? We can't count that one. That is not possible. From the box plot, we can say whether outliers are present or not. Yes or no. Answer is yes or no only. How many of them are there? What is the values? Which values are outliers? Which values are not outliers? These things we can't identify. Box plot tells us whether outliers are present or not. Sir, if outliers are present, for example, in the given data, outliers are present. I have got the box plot like this. Okay. Outliers are present. Now, how to extract the data? That by writing the pandas function, you have to extract the outliers data. Okay. From the box plot, we can identify whether the data has outliers or not. Yes or no only. We are not going to identify how many outliers using the box plot. From box plot, we can't get that information. From box plot, only the information we can get is outliers is available or not. How we can get that information means, for a box plot, if there is a dots, then outliers are present. If the dots are not there means no outliers are there. How that is calculated means, how the box plot calculated that one? How? That is the interview question. Okay, if in the interview, if we ask how to identify outliers means 99.99% of the students will say, sir, by using the box plot, we can identify the outliers. If I ask the question, how to identify outliers? If I ask this question, how to identify outliers in the data set means 99.99 students will say the box plot, which is the correct answer. But how this box plot was designed means only 0.001% people will say. Only 0.001% people will say. Because this side, these dots are called as outliers. But how? How it is calculated? How these dots are calculated means the dots are calculated by any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Those points are considered as an outlier. This point 0.001% people only knows. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Clear? Box plot. So this is the box plot for this data. Sir, how to draw the box plot? Means this is, you are showing everything manually. Once everything manually completed, that is with writing part was completed, then we'll see the coding part. Now, whatever the writing part we are focusing from the last 3 days, from when we have started the statistics is on the Friday class. Friday class, we have started the statistics Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. From last 4 classes, we are doing only with the handwriting, and we are taking the data set, sample data set, we are only taking, and we are doing calculations manually. Everything we are doing manually. Whatever the calculations we are doing manually, whatever we are going to discuss in the statistics 4 days class,